The sun was just beginning to rise over the golden grasslands of Sundara Valley, casting long, sleepy shadows across the quiet earth. Dew glistened on every blade of grass, the air still cool and soft, and the only sound was the whisper of a gentle morning breeze. But beneath that peaceful silence, danger was already stirring, silent, patient, and deadly. Deep inside an old abandoned anthill lived a mongoose named Raka, known throughout the valley as swift, brave, and stubbornly fearless. From the moment he was old enough to stand on his tiny legs, he had been trained by his mother to fight the deadliest enemies of their kind, snakes. His mother always said, "A mongoose is born to survive. Fear is a visitor, courage is a decision." Raka never forgot those words. But just beyond the tall grass, curled around a sun-warmed rock, lay a creature whose name made the entire valley tremble, the great cobra nagraj, an ancient serpent whose venom was said to be strong enough to stop the heartbeat of a buffalo in moments. He had lived for so long and won so many battles that even the birds refused to speak his name aloud. For months, rumors had spread that Nagraj was growing restless. The drought had thinned the valley's supply of food, and the cobra had begun moving closer to the heart of Sundara Valley, closer to the homes of the small animals who lived there. Many believed it was only a matter of time before someone crossed his path and never returned. And so, one fateful morning, Raka heard frightened whispers from a group of field mice who had just come racing past his anthill. The Cobra King is hunting again," one mouse squeaked. "He struck down a wild hen at dawn," another added, trembling. "He's moving east, near the mango grove." Raka's ears twitched. The mango grove was where many young animals played. If Nagraj hunted there, the valley would fall into chaos. Without hesitation, Raka stood up, brushed the dirt from his fur, and said calmly, "I will stop him." The mice stared at him as if he had said he would chase the clouds away. "You can't be serious," one cried. "Nagraj is older than time." Raka only nodded. "All the more reason he must be stopped before he grows even bolder." With determined steps, he sprinted across the grasslands, his small body moving like a streak of brown lightning. Birds soared overhead, watching anxiously as he charged toward danger. Meanwhile, Nagraj slithered through the grass with slow, regal confidence. His scales gleamed like polished obsidian. His hood rose and fell like a black sail, and his golden eyes scanned for movement. Every creature he passed froze in fear, too terrified even to breathe. When Raka reached the grove, the air was thick with tension. A squirrel clung to a branch, shaking. A quail hid her chicks beneath her wings. A baby deer whimpered softly behind a tree stump. Then everything went silent. Raka stepped into the clearing. Nagraj lifted his head, towering like a dark, rising pillar. His hood spread wide, shimmering in the sun. "So," hissed the cobra, his voice low and cold, "the valley sends me a child?" Raka planted his feet firmly. "The valley sends you a warning." Nagraj's eyes narrowed. "Many have said those words. None have lived to repeat them." Raka did not flinch. "There is a first time for everything." The ancient cobra let out a slow, menacing hiss that vibrated through the earth. "Then come, little mongoose. Let us test your bravery." The battle began with a sudden burst of motion. Raka leapt to the right, barely dodging the cobra's lightning-fast strike. Dust flew into the air as Nagraj's fangs pierced the ground where Raka had stood a heartbeat earlier. The animals hiding nearby watched with wide, terrified eyes. The cobra lunged again, this time faster. Raka darted back, circling, waiting for his moment. But Nagraj was no ordinary snake, he moved with the grace of a creature who had survived countless duels. "You are quick," the cobra hissed. "But speed fades. Venom does not." Raka said nothing. He was conserving his breath, studying every shift of the cobra's coils, every tightening of his muscles. Nagraj struck again. This time Raka jumped forward instead of back. He used the cobra's momentum, slipping beneath the rising hood, latching onto the serpent's thick scales. Nagraj thrashed violently, trying to shake him off, but Raka held on with all his strength. The cobra slammed against rocks, against tree trunks, against the hard earth, but the mongoose refused to release his grip. Dust clouded the air as the battle raged, each movement faster and more desperate than the last. Finally, Nagraj twisted sharply and flung Raka across the clearing. The little warrior crashed into the ground, gasping, the wind knocked out of him. The animals watching cried out in fear. Nagraj slithered closer, his shadow falling over the fallen mongoose. "It is over," he whispered. "Even the brave must die." Raka's vision blurred, his heartbeat pounding in his ears. But just as the cobra reared back for the final strike, Raka remembered his mother's voice. "Fear is a visitor. Courage is a decision." With a final burst of strength, Raka rolled aside just as Nagraj struck. The cobra's fangs drove deep into a tree root instead of flesh. In that split second of vulnerability, Raka lunged. His jaws clamped around the cobra's neck. Nagraj twisted, hissed, and fought with every ounce of his ancient power, but the mongoose held fast. With one final shake, Raka brought the great cobra crashing to the ground. Silence fell. Then slowly, the animals emerged from hiding. The squirrel whispered, he did it." The quail said, "The valley is safe." The baby deer nuzzled the brave mongoose. Raka stood panting but alive. He looked at the fallen cobra, then at the animals who depended on him. "It is done," he said softly. "Go home. Sundara Valley is safe again." And from that day on, the legend of Raka the Fearless passed from creature to creature, a story of courage, sacrifice, and a battle that would be remembered for generations.
Please like and subscribe for more videos. Also comment where you're watching from.